Greetings everybody and welcome to G for G. I am Napalm Dawn and today we're going to talk about Marvel's Avengers and the new skins that we've got in the game. When last we saw what was going on with the skins in this game, they were absolute trash. We had Black Widow, who not only had the wrong hair by not having the braid, but also had the wrong color by not having the flame look. It'd be one thing if there was no braid, but we do know the fact that they could change hairstyles based on the skin. We know they can change hair colors based on the skin, so it was beyond stupid that we got a 3/4 MCU skin Black Widow. Also, when her guns were holstered on her hip, they were small like Endgame and Infinity War. However, when taken out of the holsters and actually shot, they were big, normal Black Widow-sized guns. Hawkeye came along, and he had an MCU skin too, and while the actual outfit was decent, they got his handedness wrong. He was shooting with the wrong hand. And of course, we had Hawkeye with his game bald head, which wasn't what he was in the movie. He had the pretty majestic mohawk. Also, the arrows were tipped purple, which actually matched the game, not the movie. Interestingly enough, when I was watching his animations, I learned something about shooting bows that I had never seen before. I was rather upset watching Hawkeye nock an arrow, and the arrow wasn't on the inside of his arm that was holding the bow. So if you're holding the bow in your left and you knock the arrow and you pull it back, I had always thought you knocked the arrow on the inside of your support arm. That's actually not the case. When I watched the animation do this, I'm like, oh, they even screwed this up. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm not the type of person that's going to go off half-cocked and not actually investigate this, because they're going to look like a jackass if I get upset about this, and that's not the way it is. And sure enough, you knock an arrow crossing over your support arm. It shoots on the outside. Now, I did definitely see some pictures where people were shooting inside of the support arm, but I also saw plenty, actually the majority of them, shooting on the outside of it. I was like, wow, kind of learned something. But today, hopefully we're going to break the pattern and we're going to look at a few new MCU skins over here. So let's take a look. Alright, what do we got for the free marketplace item? We have the M.ODOK nameplate, because Marvel's Avengers is now shilling the M.ODOK cartoon that's going on, and they are saying it's canon. I've also heard the people that have watched it have actually said it's pretty good. It might be worth watching. We just recently finished up the final season of Castlevania. We consumed that one really quickly. We watched all of Yasuke on Netflix, and we're waiting for Loki. We may go back to Bad Batch. I thought Bad Batch was good. M.ODOK is a little low on my list. Patton Oswalt, to me, is somebody you take in small doses. I don't necessarily know that I can jump feet first into that one, but I'd give it a try. Now in the marketplace, by the way, we have these catalysts that grant 1.5 times normal XP bonus for 3 days of real time. So that means you don't want to activate one of these when you're not really going to be able to play. I'm going to hold on to this for now, because this weekend's going to be a little bit busy. And we will get to the skins, but let's look at what is going on with the nameplates. So we have a Hawkeye Red Room Takeover. That one looks pretty decent. I like the little flash animation there. This Miss Marvel one I actually think is really, really good, because it looks like she's just You know the meme girl from the viral image where she's looking at the camera with like a little bit of a smirk and the house is on fire behind her? That's kind of what this looks like, because it does look matrixy and digital, but it also just looks like straight lava. You know, when California goes on fire every summer, that's kind of what it looks like in the background over there. I actually kind of really like this one. This Thor one I'm not that crazy about. The glow in his eyes don't look lightning or electrical based. They actually look like alien. He looks like a Draugr. He looks like a possessed, soulless Draugr. Not a fan of the Thor one. This Iron Man one, kind of looking like stealth armor or Silver Centurion, is not bad, but the glow from the lips is too intense. Why is the mouth brighter than the eyes? I'm not going to tell you what it looks like, but when people do this, or when it's discovered in people's history, it gets people in trouble. If you know what I mean. It looks... yeah, it looks ancient. It looks like 50s and 60s cartoons, the way certain things were done. Not a fan of that one. So here is the Hawkeye one. And when it loads up over here. So there, look, there's the Prince's purple rain, bow, and arrows over there. No, doesn't fit. Why? This isn't some small indie company like we joke on Blizzard when they have a bug and everything. The head is jarring enough, but to have the purple arrows, which is not what he was using, it's just bad. It's just low class. It's really low caliber stuff. And that was true of Black Widow. So here is Endgame. To be honest, not that crazy about this Hulk one either. It's Hulk's normal build, and I mean, I'm not a fan of Professor Hulk when he's represented in games. I think the Professor Hulk look was too toned down. You lose so much of the savagery that is Hulk, and I understand it is a merging of Banner and Hulk, so it makes sense. Not that crazy about this one, because it's not Professor Hulk in this game. He's wearing something akin to his uniform, and to be honest, when I think of Hulk for Endgame, I think of more of him either in street clothes or the team suit like Marvel Future Fight has. I don't remember this suit as well. I'd have to watch the movie again, but like this, I would just think this is a skin in the game. If I saw this, if the left side of the screen was blacked out and I couldn't see that it was Endgame, I would say, oh look, a new Hulk skin that I really have no interest in. And now we come to Kamala Khan's legendary outfit, this Future Guardian one. I like it. However, I think they dropped the ball on this skin a little bit. Ms. Marvel's skins are usually textured very well. This one looks like a wetsuit. This one really looks like a very patriotic wetsuit. And funny, because I was recently talking with some friends about the time that I went whitewater rafting on the New River in West Virginia. We had a wetsuit underneath all of our clothes. This really does look like a surfer's wetsuit in the textures, and that's odd from Ms. Marvel. They usually don't screw that up. But then, just when I thought you can't do anything dumber, you go and totally redeem yourself, Lloyd. This Iron Man one is pretty good. The helmet is right. That's what amazes me. They gave us an actual MCU Tony Stark Iron Man body shape. The arms look right. The helmet looks right. You know, I know a lot of people have clamored for the Infinity Wars one because, I mean, that did have the cool blades, and it was a very svelte skin. It looked like it didn't have a lot of bulk. It just looked very tight to the actual actor. Um, but I think this one is good. I almost feel like maybe there's a little bit too much gold, or maybe the gold just so heavily contrasts the red that it is the right amount of gold, but it's bright enough that it's throwing me off. But I think this is a good skin, and this is where everybody has come alive on Twitter and everything and said, like, holy shit, you did it. The problem is it still costs 14 bucks if you want it, or you will have had to put in the work to get that amount of credits, which has not been easy. It's been a common slam on the game. We have Hulk Doc Green, which is... I think I like it. I like the trench coat, but the leather vest underneath it is a bit different. If it was just his chest or that t-shirt under the white coat, I would understand, but the vest seems like... the vest says party and the lab coat says research, and of course Hulk says Hulk, but it's a weird combination over there. It's not bad, it's just weird. And I heard about this one, Black Widow Widow's Origin, which is a white suit to represent what we have in the Black Widow movie that has been delayed about 7,000 times. And hopefully we're getting in the next few months over here. Again, I wonder if the guns are going to be wrong on this one, but I think this one is pretty cool. And since the movie's not out yet, we can't maybe quite complain that it's off. Like, I'm okay that this one has game face and game hair, because I don't think it's quite as iconic as what we had in Infinity War and Endgame. Let's see if it's actually still for sale, because we did wonder... yeah, it is. Okay. So we did certainly wonder if the skins were going to be limited. And we knew... we discussed in the last video what the problem with that would be. If the skins were limited, they were destroying player agency. And that is like, hey, I'm not going to spend more than maybe 20 bucks on this game right now, so I'm not going to get 2 skins. But let's say the Black Widow one knocked it out of the park, but I also maybe want to get the Iron Man one. If the only thing that was out was Black Widow, and then it disappeared, sort of putting that that FOMO pressure on you, that fear of missing out, like, oh my god, she's only up for a week, but maybe I'm going to want the Iron Man. Well, I don't know, maybe I'll sell one of the kids, and I'll have enough money for both. And then you sell the kid into slavery, and then you buy the Black Widow one, you're like, oh, it's okay. And then the Iron Man one drops, and you're like, well, I'm glad I sold my kid into slavery, so now I can afford both. It is nice to see that it's up. Some of these other $14 Black Widow ones, I think, come in honestly a little bit better than the MCU one, because you're not predisposed to look at it a certain way. But let's take a look at the guns. So the guns are really pretty big. It's most of the upper hip. And here, it is way tinier. Way tinier over there. Let's see what the white suit actually looks like. If they have... oh wow, this one's interesting. That's kind of badass. David Hasselhoff, like, cyber glasses over there. Oh, the white suit isn't listed. Oh, they have this one. Oh, wow. I remember this one from Marvel Heroes. The one that I always used to say looked like Nova from Heroes of the Storm and StarCraft. That's really cool. One gun, but I'm sure she's gonna pull out two, obviously. Oh, wow. I am surprised that skin is in the game. I always thought that skin was a bit badass. Not gonna lie, I would be tempted to get that skin. I think that's really cool that they've got that one in here. There's the white outfit. So let's see the size of the guns. They are back to big. So we don't... I don't know. I'd have to look at the trailer footage to see if those guns are the right size, but they are... I'd say maybe about mid-size between the MCU skins and the game ones. Here over in Iron Man, it looks like they have Amaranthine, Circuit, which never was a big fan of Circuit. I kind of like this one over here. I mean, I know it's a palette swap of some others, but that's cool. I'm not always the biggest fan of jumping on a purple skin, but I think this one is done particularly well. Legatus, yeah, Superior. The Superior Iron Man that I know from other games always has the faceplate on. I certainly like this one better than the Emerald City Guard, but not tempted for it because I've got a pretty good Iron Man one that I use, and it is a legendary. So we have Centurion, we have Prometheum. This is the other jet one that I knew existed. Ray Gun's got the fat hockey face mask. It's really tempting. Hephaestium looks a lot like Green Goblin. Primus. So here's the one that I use, which is Illustrious. I got this one to be as close to an MCU skin as possible, and then they go and, of course, release MCU skins. It'd be kind of cool if you could, like, sell them back and get the credits. Red Dwarf. I had to get Roboburble, and if you don't know what a Roboburble is, just look up Thundercats Roboburble. Solaris, Comet. A lot of skins are available right now. Do you like this cast iron? Chromolux is decent. Iron Knight with the Thor cape is pretty cool. That one's different. Thor I don't think has anything particularly interesting going on right now. Scion's not too bad. But again, I think Thor is just... he never seems to be textured right. Yeah, nothing amazingly out of the ordinary there. I think a lot of people are waiting for a Cap skin, and it may be good if everybody just chills out and waits until all of the MCU skins drop, and then make a decision at the end, because it doesn't seem like we're running out of time on any of them. No, not that. This, again, this is one I could be suckered into if I was trying to get something as close to the MCU as possible. I like this one for Cap. It fixes a lot of his helmet issues, and it fixes a lot of his face issues. He still has that somewhat bad Thor texture going on. This one just kind of looks like Operation Desert Storm, which is cool. Living Legend, Oathkeeper. Let's take a look at Shining Justice. Decent, again, his pants look like stretched denim, which is a problem that I have with most of Cap's outfits. Rebirth. Actually, Rebirth seems not too bad. Hawkeye, Kate. Can't imagine anything. Yeah, nothing super interesting about Kate, except Generations is up, which I believe is relatively comic accurate. to a couple skins. Actually, well, maybe. I think I've seen her represented that way before. The skin that I have for Kate, for me, is going to be hard to top. It's my favorite skin in the game for her. It basically combines a good outfit and a good hairstyle for her. Iron Eye and Spacefarer look very Iron Man-esque. There's the MCU skin, Armored Hawk, Royal Ronin, which is what I'm using. Unfortunately, they came out with the real Ronin colors after I'd gotten Royal and was like, damn it, now I want to switch. Damn, Red Ronin I think is actually pretty cool. I call this one the Jerry Garcia. It's called Jimmy. Eddie. Old Man. Actually, I haven't seen this Heroes Reborn one. That one's not too bad. These just kind of look like Alabama Manhunter ones. And I think Kamala has some decent ones now. Nightlight's pretty cool. We've already looked at Future Guardian. See, now, if we look at Battlesuit has a little bit more of a realistic metallic look than Future Guardian. Nanosuit isn't too bad. That nameplate, man, I really do think I'm going to get that nameplate. And of course, you have our more casual ones. Miss Marvel one's pretty solid for her. Or the Captain Marvel one. This hijab one is in Marvel Future Fight. So they're not doing too bad now with the Iron Man one. I have a feeling Thor is going to be a botch. I'm going to call it now that Thor is probably going to be a botch. Cap can go either way. So far, I think Black Widow and Hawkeye were botches. I think they were terrible. I think they were low quality. How does this come out from a AAA studio? Hulk, I'm very indifferent to it. Like, I'm sort of exhausted by Black Widow and Hawkeye not to just really care that much about Hulk. Iron Man knocks it out of the park. I think Iron Man is really, really good. And if they even go back and do his Infinity War look too, I think they're going to have another good skin on their hands. Thor, I'm going to say 85% chance of fucking that one up. It would be really, really sad if they keep him with Mjolnir and don't give him Stormbreaker, which they really should. They absolutely should if they do that. Cap, I think they need to fix his shield. That's one thing. His shield is excessively red on this. The balance in his shield is way off. I think they need to fix the shield. I hope they fix his pant textures so they don't look like casual stretch jeans. From the waist up, Ultimate Patriot makes me think they'll get it right. So I give Cap maybe about a 60%, maybe 70% chance of actually doing good. Thor, I don't know. Don't have much belief in Thor. And then that's really it. It's Cap and Thor. So right now, I think they are 1 for 3. They hit it out of the park with Iron Man. I think Black Widow and Hawkeye are terrible, and Hulk, maybe in the middle. So I think it's like 1, and 3. Good, tie, and 2 bads. Thor and Cap could potentially turn the tide and completely tie it up and leave it as like a 3-1-3 at the end over there, but we'll see. So I believe because today is now the 21st, we're going to have the Red Room Takeover Part 2. So I think we're going to see some new things starting today. And there's my roster with Fear itself, Black Widow, Ronan Hawkeye, but the wrong Ronan. I forget the name of this Cap. Obviously that's Maestro. I think this is her Obsidian outfit, which is the pre-order. I believe that's King Thor. That's my favorite Kate. And what I got as close to the MCU Iron Man as I could get before the MCU Iron Man existed. And now I kind of wish I didn't waste the credits on it. But we'll see what they do for Cap and Thor. That's really where this is all going to come down to a win or not. And damn, do I really like that Miss Marvel nameplate. So, what do you guys think of the skin so far? Do you agree with me that the first two were botches? How do you feel about the Hulk one? Because I think I could get swayed either way. And I really think they did a good job on Iron Man. And I'm curious as to what you guys think on it. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. And hopefully stay tuned over the next week or so for some Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux Beta 4 news. I've poked Goofy's brain a little bit over there, and we might have some details coming. So stick around. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.